Hello everyone! It's been a while since I've been recording, but welcome to a game of 5 players. I am Morgana and obviously a spy, and I picked first. So I did my classic off-picking of 2 people. Hopefully they'll misinterpret it to think that it's that I'm picking one good, one bad, and possibly get one of them to accuse the other, or both. We'll see. Yeah, it's been a while since I've been recording. I haven't played that much recently, just because I've been up to my head in school and classes and tests and everything. Yeah, but hopefully I'll get a couple good games in, and that's about it. Let's see what happens in this game. Everyone here is pretty, well, everyone here is pretty solid, so should be a good one. Pretty standard so far. Both Hack and Maymage off-picked correctly, which means it could be that, well, Hack, I guess trying to confuse them, or just pick something, maybe give me a little more credit for being picked. Maymage did pick 1 and 1, so I'll mark him. I'll mark him this way. Mark his chat as maybe being Merlin for picking the 2 of them, or maybe he's Percival and he picked 2 VTs. Alright. Z Green, I'm going to mark him as not Merlin for now, just because he off-picked the two spies, and Merlin, he's going to try to pick 1 and 1. That way, as I said, it's more predictable, and then people who are trying to learn something from the picks can understand what he wants and what he's trying to say. So I guess here I need to do the standard of adding myself. No reason to accuse right now. My first pick was May and Green. So I would be saying this is bad. If this goes through and it fails, then I'd be saying that between the 2 of them is bad. So it may be useful for me to pin one of the fails to eventually accuse Green. Although I kind of want Green on my team later on. Ooh. I kind of would want Green later on my team because he's probably not Merlin because of his bad or not correct pick in M1 when he picked the 2 spies. But well, we'll see what happens. He just rejected 1, 2, 3, me, Gwyn, and Green himself. He rejected it, meaning he didn't want that mission to go through. It could be a Merlin move. It could be maybe he's Percival and he sees that there's 2 Merlins on it. That I'm more Merlin and he's the other Merlin. He now knew to reject this as well. Gwyn rejected it as well. Well, they're right so far. Maymage now picks perfectly clean, and once again Green on Merlin's himself. That's another thing that Merlin wouldn't do. Merlin wouldn't be rejecting clean missions, especially when there's a pretty good excuse to just say yes. Because the default is just to say yes if you're on it. Okay, so Z Green now. Oh, Hack! I really do wish you would have approved that, but we'll see what Gwyn does. If Gwyn takes May... Huh. Interesting. I'm going to fail this, of course. Player failed it. I'm going to accuse that. So now, if I'm going to make my team, these 2 are bad, which lines up, I'll do 1 out of the 1-1. Let's say I decide that Mage is the bad one, that means he's the good one, that means Gwyn is the last bad one. So that could be a potential team. a potential accuse, which means my final team will be me, Hack, and Z Green. So what I think I'll do is this. Oh. Yeah, I'll take Hack to set Z Green up for my team. I don't want to directly accuse Gwyn by taking Z Green, and I don't want to take someone who potentially will be on my team later on. Alright, and it looks like Hack is starting to line up with me in the chat. So that's good, because if later on, if we're gonna convince Z Green to be on our team, for him to be the one who picks me, then we're gonna need to be on the same page. Because in order for us to win, usually in 5 players, in order for the spies to win by missions, we're gonna have to convince one of them. Oh, sweet! I'm gonna succeed that. In order for that to work, we're gonna have to convince one of them. At least one good guy to be on our side. So it's likely, obviously, Merlin's not going to be the one who ends up doing that. He's not going to be fooled by anyone because he knows the answer. I think we both have to say yes, just because I'm not gonna. If I were Merlin, I wouldn't want to claim I wouldn't want to accuse people and be too obvious. So I kind of have to default to app, right? Oh, Hack. Actually, it's okay. Oh, I don't know if I want this to go through. Hack, I want you to reject this again. Thank you. I think Hack is doing that to keep Hammer. Good. I don't want him to do Z Green, because I still want my team to make sense, possibly. If he goes himself, me. I think I'm going to repick this. I think I can do that. And still, because if I'm Merlin, I'm not picking clean just yet. Which is fine. Anyway, so I was talking about having to trick someone. So either you're going to trick the VT, the regular good guy. If you're going to trick him, then I guess it could be okay. I mean, he's the most likely target, just because he has the least information. Perfect, Hack. Perfect. Alright, I'm going to let Hack fail this because he's the assassin, and fail order says that lower on the totem pole, you're the one supposed to fail. If you don't know that, then obviously you have to look up fail order. And here I'm trying to go and get green on my side. So so you want to try to convince the VT to join your team. The other option is to get the Percival to think that I'm the right one. In which case I can either do myself, Percival, and the regular VT, but it requires me to convince 2 people, both Percy and the VT, or just drag along my other player, my teammate, as if he's the VT. So now Gwyn obviously accuses me pretty hard because I accused him. But anyway, I'm setting up in order to get green to be my final partner in the final team. I'm gonna reject this. Ooh, Maymage approved that. Maymage approved that. That's risky of him if he's Merlin, because he knows that it's possible that both of us spies can approve it if we think that he might be approving it, and get 3 approves, and then a jury team goes through. So that's a pretty not Merlin move to do, and if someone follows him, Gwyn's definitely not liking me. That makes me lean towards Gwyn being Merlin. I'm not watching this if we lose. Okay, you don't have to watch, but I'm sure you will anyway, just to see my perspective of it. I think you'll be a little curious how it went down. So anyway, May, when you see this, not if, when you see this, shout out to you. So I accused Gwyn. I said green is good. If that still doesn't convince Green, then he might have to be Merlin, even though I really don't think he's Merlin, just because he rejected a clean team. His off pick wasn't good. Wasn't 1-1. He picked 2 spies. Maybe he's Percival, in which case I think I'm still pretty consistent, because I've only been showing that I like Hack. I haven't accused him, I haven't put any shade on him whatsoever, which means that my team has to be consistent. There's nothing, I couldn't have accidentally said that I liked that I liked Merlin. This was picked a bunch. I was picked in the first mission. 1, 2, 3, mission 2, 4, perfect. Alright, now Gwyn is in trouble, because if Gwyn is Merlin, then Gwyn's gonna have to call for hammer right now. Yep. And Gwyn is gonna die. I'm just gonna be quiet because I don't want to provoke some sort of conversation. I think we can kill Gwyn anyway. Alright, let's do that one. Yep, Gwyn is Merlin. And we'll fail that. Perfect. Alright. Yeah, so I think that they were in pretty deep trouble. Gwyn had the first hammer, and being Merlin and having a hammer is pretty difficult. It's difficult because if you pick clean, then you get looked on as Merlin for setting things up. If you pick dirty, then Percival's not gonna like you very much. So I was actually correct that Green rejected the first mission. He rejected 2-1, M2-1, when it had 2 Merlins on it. I guess he rejected this one in order to be consistent, which is not a bad move. Because if he rejected me and then approved this, then I would already very, very consider him to be Percival, knowing that there were 2 Merlins on it, and then he would have killed his Merlin. Anything else notable? Maymage approved 5-1. He approved this one, which led us to believe that he's probably not Merlin, because Merlin, like I said before, Merlin wouldn't approve dirty, and he certainly needs to if Merlin does something that's like something that Merlin wouldn't do, then I mean it's just going to be confusing to Percival. So if he's Merlin and let's say Gwyn is Percival, and Gwyn sees Maymage approve that mission, he's going to think that Maymage likes Hack, if that's the 3 of them there. So Maymage is going to have to sort of compensate in the chat, saying, "Oh wait, that was dirty," and then and sort of like say, "Oh sorry, let's try something else," in order to tell Percival that he actually didn't mean it, but he's also telling us that he didn't mean it, so that can help us direct, and then we would know that maybe Maymage is Merlin, because he didn't say anything to sort of compensate in the chat. It's possible. I mean, it led me more to believe that he wasn't going to be Merlin, and since Z Green showed not Merlin, that he wasn't Merlin a couple times earlier, so Gwyn was sort of the only one really that was left as a candidate, and indeed he was. And also he just had a very hard time because the hammer laid in Hack's hands. Hack was very good. It was very smart of him to keep the hammer by him, especially since we have a too deep hammer. So even if Gwyn tries to accuse Hack directly, then he still has to also he's also going to have to accuse me, and that's already pointing out an exact team, and that's very, very dangerous for Merlin to do, because generally only Merlin knows the exact team. So that was very wise of him for keeping the hammer in his hands. Yeah, and I'm not sure why he picked his that 4 mission, the mission 4, himself, me, and Gwyn. But I'm really glad he did, because if he had picked me, him, and Green, then I would have had to find a different team to like, and then I would have had to backtrack and try to see what can make me consistent with what I've been saying, and I don't know if there's very much for me to do that. So thanks, Hack, for allowing me to be consistent and not giving away my false narrative. Alright, that was a good game. Till next time.